Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to round number 6 of the North American Grand Prix Formula Masters Championship, coming to you live from the Watkins Glen in New York, and I am joined tonight by Richard Roman, filling in for Brad Maris, who cannot be here tonight. Rich, welcome to the show. Nice to have you back.
Thanks, Al. Always a pleasure. Looks like we might be dealing with some latency issues right now, but always good to be back and watch some good racing here with NAG.
We have just kicked off this qualifying session here at the Glen, and looks like Chris Mose is going to be the first to act here. Very high-speed track, Roman. I know you took some time doing some laps here earlier. How do the cars feel going around here?
Well, it'd be really interesting to see what everyone goes with here, because you know this is such a high-speed track. You could really mask the car handling with downforce, but obviously if you do that, that'll hurt on the long straightaway there, especially since we're running the bus stop. So it'll be interesting to see who's got that good mix of good car handling, because that's what a lot of people don't realize. That even though it's a high-speed track, handling is really important around this track.
Well, before we switched it over to this qualifying session, it was PMR, Chris Moses, and who we're following right now, and his teammate Matt Taylor, 1 and 2 in the timing session. The only two guys who clipped into the 41s. I think that was qualifying run there, as Moses gets it a little wrong there. He looked like he had a pretty decent lap going, but a little too much wheel spin there. I'm going to take a quick look.
Yeah, that corner.
Go ahead.
That corner where Chris just lost it, that's going to be tricky. I think that's going to, be a little bit of a calamity corner there for a lot of these guys. In real life, it's a very off-camber left-hand turn, and it's really hard to pick up on that in these cars. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of cars lose it there.
So Matt Taylor provisionally on pole at the moment with a 42.7, but we should see some times quicker than that. We're following Kevin Savoie right now as he's going through the boot. Let's jump on board with him right now. With 11 corners this circuit, making his way through the heel. So this is a corner where Moses actually lost, and you can see all that oversteer that Kevin Savoie was dealing with right there. Last couple corners flat out. That last corner, and then a little lift here onto the main straight here at the Glen. Let's take a quick look at the track map for tonight's race. You see 11 corners. We are running without the chicane, so it's a straight shot into the loop, down the chute, and then into the boot section. Very fast track, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be running the downforce, like you said, Roman, and who will be running light on the wing settings. But we just saw Kevin Savoie jump up to provisional pole with a 42.2.
And he looks like he's still going on another hot lap there.
Now on board with last week's winner at Interlagos, Ronnie Nunez, carrying 40 kilograms of success ballast. I'm sorry, 30 kilograms of ballast for tonight's race. So it's going to be interesting to see how he and Luis Nieto do tonight, who I do not see. Pretty light turnout tonight. If you guys weren't able to make the race for tonight, Nieto looks like he is one of them, as well as Kurt Chandler. I didn't see he was out, and Tiago Canola. So a few guys unfortunately unable to attend tonight's race. Hopefully you guys can hear Rich okay.
Forward. hope the daylight, well, not daylight savings time, but you know, the jump forward didn't screw anybody up.
Oh, that's right. We changed time zones. No, we had posted posted something about that this week. So some of these guys from in other countries do not change clocks, so they have to adjust accordingly. So as we continue to follow Ronnie here through this final corner down the main straight. And Ronnie jumps up to second. Wow, 42.2. There's 2/10 off of Chris Moses' time. You got to keep in mind that is with ballast. Moses running without the weight. Very impressive time. Aaron Parsons currently sitting in 5th with a personal best of a 42.8. Let's see, Parsons last week. Not the greatest of nights for Aaron, who had actually ran out of fuel. Tried to stretch it on his first in his first stint. Ran out of fuel, leading up to the pit entry at Interlagos, and was forced to DNF. And now it's the first we've seen anybody do that on Monday nights in these cars.
Oh, that's a hurt. That hurts.
But take a look at Parsons here. A little off in the first 2 sectors, off by 1. He's about 5/10 off total so far, leading into this final sector. The numbers in green show you, if you look at the timing there, numbers in green show you if somebody's up. And Parsons, I believe, made some wall contact, so he's going to back out of it. Chuck Carter.
Calamity corner.
Yep. Chuck Carter provisionally running in 9th presently. This seems like a track tailor-made for Chuck. He tends to do well at tracks like these.
Well, you know what, Chuck has always been really good at not overdriving the car for the most part. And this track, you can easily overdrive it.
Mike Greatrix coming off 2 straight top 10 finishes. So very good last couple races for Greatrix. Currently sitting in 16th. A bit of a bobble there entering turn 1. That's that turn 1. We haven't talked about that corner, Roman, but that is a very tricky corner. You want to try and stay as close to that inside curbing as possible and not get too far wide and caught up on that very tall curb, the exit.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing, that this track being so fast, your exit's going to be so critical. It's going to be real easy to go a little bit wide in some of these corners, especially the one coming off the back straightaway there, just going down into the shoe. That's one where I would also possibly see some people maybe going a little bit wide on exit there. Turn 1 isn't too bad. The bigger thing actually is going to be pit exit. I thought if you really try to push pit exit, you could end up sliding all the way out onto the racing line, and that could obviously cause some significant trouble.
Yeah, I'm sure once the drivers' meeting gets underway after this session, these guys are going to be well aware. As you see, Mike had to lift a little bit there, but I'm sure these guys are going to be made aware of that and be cautious when exiting the pit lane. So, Greatrix does not improve. Brian Story currently in 12th. So our championship leader, Luis Nieto, not here presently. I'm suspecting he may get in later, but But man, this will be quite the shakeup in the Drivers' Championship if he does not show up. Kurt Chandler currently 11th. We just saw Kevin Savoie now has dipped into the 41s with a 41.9. So Savoie doing what he does best, and that's putting his car up front. Come the race though, different story. We'll see if he could put it together here. He's had, I think he's only had one real result here this season. He's already had a pole, but results need to follow for Kevin.
Well, that's pretty much status quo for Kevin, though. He's always been a really fast driver. When he gets it together, he's usually on the podium there, but every once in a while, he's kind of like he's either on fire or he's in the pits.
So Chandler looks like he's on a flyer, and Nunez right behind him looks like he might be on a flyer, so he's going to back out of it. He got caught up to Chandler pretty quickly here. So Chandler coming to the stripe. Are they going to be able to improve? He does not. He's going to stay in 12th. David Poole, haven't talked much about him at all tonight, actually. Currently in 7th. Making his way down the very long straight here, leading into the chute. Bit of a lift there. Looks like he's got that car hooked up quite well. Very well planted going through there. Bit of
a little slide there.
Yeah, a little slide job for David. Parsons, he is up to 5th now. David Rowley just set a personal best, moving himself up to 9th with a 43.9. Marty Wren now making some noise here, up to 7th with the 43.1. Parsons, does he improve? He does not. He's going to stay in 5th. Catch back up here with David Poole. Oh, that was an outlap for Poole. Big moment for David. Parsons was up in the first sector there on that lap, but lost it all in the back. A little further up, Chris Moses up on his time. Oh, Moses pushing just a little too hard, nearly throws it off. Well, he did put a couple wheels off into the lawn.
That's going to be the big struggle with a lot of these guys tonight. Like I said earlier, the track seems so wide, and you feel like you can push it so much faster, and it's really going to be finding that little bit of control there. A real easy track to overdrive. Once you start overdriving, it's kind of hard to really get yourself back in. So see how it goes with that.
Making his way. Ooh! Yeah, he tried to push it there. Kevin Miller just improved his time. He's up to 9th. See what Brian Story can do. That was an outlap. Chuck Carter, 43.9. So Carter now in 11th. A lot of guys streaming out of the pits. John Houston now had a great run last week. Ooh, as he takes it way wide. But John Houston, great run last weekend at Interlagos, finishing 4th. in last week's race. Driver of the season for him, so he is, and his teammate T. Brock Dambam. Looks like Aaron Parsons. That team looks like they're getting their act together here. Kind of nearly midway through the season. Well, yeah, this is midway. This is halfway point. Oh, big slide there for Houston. So he's gonna get out of it. Greg Myers. Now Greg currently in 16th. 8 minutes to go here in this session. Greg, 9/10 off in that middle sector. Watch Greg here as he makes his way through the last corner. Greg comes to the line. Nice, up to 13, so Greg improves on his personal best. So Chris Moses now starting his flyer. Using a lot of that curbing. Savoie, Moses, and Taylor. That's your top three presently. Under 3/10 separating those four. Ooh, Aaron Parsons, he's improved now. Moves on his time, does not improve his position though. He still remains in 5th.
Yeah, I'm watching Aaron right now. He's not too far back from David Poole. I'm kind of wondering if he'll get any kind of draft on the back straightaway here. Maybe help improve his time on this next lap here.
Chris Moses up in Sector 2. There's a little bit of traffic ahead, shouldn't be an issue. Very good looking lap for Moses. Let's see where he ends up. Oh, he's going to take the top spot away from Savoie with a 41.777. So he's got Savoie covered by a couple tenths. Let's see now Savoie if he can, what he can do. Matt Taylor, we haven't shown him yet tonight, but Taylor currently in 3rd. He is on a flyer. Just ahead of him is Kurt Chandler. Oh, Taylor, big, wow, nearly a big snap there. Let's see what that does to his time. Taylor up in the 1st sector. Lost a bunch there. Lost a bunch there through the chute. Just rubbed off too much speed going through there with that little mistake. See if we can catch up with Kevin Savoie, who is up in Sector 1. Let's jump on board with him. I'm sorry, I believe this is an outlap. As is Ronnie, an outlap. David Raleigh, currently sitting in 11th. Just about 3 minutes left in this session.
Do or die time.
Ooh, Raleigh.
Not going to have much time to do anything else.
Raleigh losing the rear. Great trick. Still unable to improve. He is languishing back there in 17th. Marty Uren sitting in 8th. David Poole has split T. Brock Danband now. He's qualified between Parsons and John Houston. Marty looks like he is on an outlap as well. So all these guys trying for one last blast. Ooh, Marty blasting the wall. Kevin Miller looking pretty racy here tonight, currently in 10th. Oh, Marty actually improved on his time after that hit and moved up to 8th. So, wow. Who knows what that could have been if he didn't make that, have that mistake.
Yeah, he must have really been up big to keep that.
Okay, now Kevin Savoie definitely on a flyer at this point. Moses on a flyer as well, looking to better his time. He's up in the middle sector. Oh, yes. Savoie manages to hold on to that. Just picked up Chris Moses here. We saw him up on his second split time. He can improve. He does. Improves his time just barely. Let's catch back up here with Savoie. Parsons now improves again, but still unable to improve his position. Remains 5th. Savoie now coming to the line. I believe did improve slightly. However, not good enough for Paul. A lot of guys have pulled it in. Cuppet. Haven't seen much of Cuppet tonight here, but he is in the top 10, currently in 9th. And he improves his time, but not his starting position. Savoie on a flyer. David Poole as well. Time dwindling here. Chris Moses off in the first 2 sectors. Chuck Carter does not improve. Checkers are out. Chuck's going to have one last attempt here. He got it in before the flag waved.
Kevin Savoie is on a tear here.
Yeah, he's even through the first 2 sectors. Moses does not improve. David Poole. He's going to bring it into the pits. Matt Taylor. Taylor a bit off in the second sector. Oh.
Savoie might have, yeah, Savoie might have a shot here. Savoie.
Pick up Savoie now as he comes to the stripe. Is he going to do it? He does. Wow.
Does it.
Wow, you nailed it. Yeah, he picked it all up in that last sector, Robin.
Yeah, I was watching him. He was looking really good. And to tell you, I was thinking to myself, you know, the only person who had a shot at stealing it away from Chris was Kevin. And sure enough, he did.
Wow, that's, oh, we still got Ronnie Nunez here on a flyer, but, yeah, that's a bonus point taken away from Chris Moses. That's, he's not going to like that, but Ronnie looking pretty good here as he makes his way to the line. Not going to improve. So let's see who else is out there. That's it. Session is over. Wow, so there you have it. Kevin Savoie snatching pole there right at the checkers by over 2/10 over Chris Moses. Pretty outstanding lap there for Kevin.
Yeah, very nice. And I noticed, I guess Matt Taylor's the only one who's in the race right now with weight, huh? And that's pretty respectable to qualify third with 15 kilograms.
Ooh, it looks like Ronnie Nunez may have dropped. So he's got weight. Ronnie has weight as well. But he just dropped. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in here. Luis Nieto having success ballast as well. So I know Ronnie's been having some technical issues with his machine. So hopefully he can get that squared away before, well, we're soon, because he's had a couple tough breaks this season in both Monday and Thursday. So, well, let's take a look at the standings where we so far up until this sixth round here, halfway point of the season underway, about to get underway here tonight. Luis Nieto, we talked about him leading the Drivers' Championship and not able to make tonight's race. So that is opening the door for a lot of guys at this point. Ronnie Nunez, second in the championship. He's 11 points behind Nieto. Nieto 93, Nunez with 82. And Nunez just suffering an issue here. So top two potentially could be out of this race. So we'll have to wait and see. Matt Taylor in third with 79 points. Chris Moses fourth with 70. And Ian Jolicoeur is in fifth with 56 points. The team championship, Precision Motor Racing, they continue to lead this one so far. 149 points, Taylor and Moses. Monty Python Racing, that's David Poole and Ronnie. They're in second with 120 points. Kung Fu Racing sitting third with 93. T-Brock Dam Bam and Rocky Road Racing, they are tied for fourth with 93. And Team Formula Winning, both those guys are out tonight, and most likely we probably won't see them the rest of the season. So that's where we're at right now, Roman. This race is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be curious to see how these guys manage entering turn one here, especially. It's a very, very tricky entry exit situation. Hopefully these guys can keep the car underneath them.
Yeah, I mean, after you just went through the standings there, I'm looking at it, and, you know, the two biggest winners here, again, is PMR. Chris Moses and Matt Taylor. Matt, you know, I don't know if he realizes it yet. Okay, I think Nunez just got back in, which is good for Nunez. I see Matt just needs to go ahead and have himself a good start, stay out of trouble, because he could possibly end up in the points lead at the end of this race.
Yeah, depending how things go, especially with Kevin Savoie, who's leading, starting from pole here tonight. If he could put a race together for himself here and potentially win this thing, that could throw a curveball for some of these guys. Chris Moses obviously looking for a win here tonight to help his chances towards the Drivers' Championship and boost himself up into the points higher up in the standings. It's going to be interesting. Him and his teammate both fight for not only the team championship but the Drivers' Championship as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out down if you know, if both those guys are still in contention, how they race each other. But let's take a look.
Yeah.
It's going to take a look at the rundown, the starting order here tonight for this race. It's going to be Kevin Savoie, second pole position of the season, starting first, followed by Chris Moses, Matt Taylor third, Ronnie Nunez going to start fourth, Aaron Parsons in fifth.
Got David Poole starting 6th, John Houston 7th, Marty Uren 8th, Jonathan Cuppett 9th, and Chuck Carter rounding out the top 10.
Kevin Miller's going to start 11th. David Rowley 12th. Watton 13th. Greg Myers 14th. And Curtis Chandler's going to start 15th.
You got Brian Story starting 16th, Mike Geertrick 17th, and Sergio Calderon is your last starter, so we got a total of 18 starters.
Oscar Lithgow is going to start 19th, actually. He had a no-call penalty here tonight, so he's going to be starting from the back. So,
sorry about that, didn't see that.
Any predictions here, Roman? 30 seconds to go here before this one gets underway.
Well, you know, it's hard to bet against Chris. I know he's probably thirsty. Matt, you know, I think he's another guy who he's thirsty as well. I mean, he's got to just have a little bit of luck on his side. I think those two are going to be the guys to beat.
We are underway here, round 6 from Watkins, Glen. Great start from Chris Moses, leading the field into turn 1. David Poole with the advantage over Matt Taylor, slotting into 3rd. Taylor falling back to 4th. Parsons, Uren duking it out here. Ronnie Nunez, bit of a slow start. He's falling back to 8th.
Yep, Savai's got a run on Moses.
David Poole, big slide. Hang on to it. Yep, Savoie gets that pass made. Chris Moses going to have a look on the inside of Savoie.
So just seeing that right there, I'm thinking Moses has run a little more downforce than Savoie for that kind of run to happen.
What a great start from Marty Uren, up to 4th here in the opening lap. Very good run here. Looks like pretty clean start through the back, throughout the field here. Calderon, not sure what happened to him, but he is a bit slow. Ooh, a little contact there. I believe that was David Rowley. Oh, Cuppett. Big incident. Heavy into the wall. I'm sorry, that was David Rowley. Oh, and Savoie here. Let's see if he can get that run on Moses like he did last time.
Yeah, Chris has got himself a pretty good gap. I don't think Kevin's going to have much for him here. Definitely close it up a little bit, though.
Yeah, a little better through there that time was Savoie. That opening lap on the cold tires, now things are starting to heat up. Everything's warming up. Grip is improving here for Savoie. Looks like he's... Oh, might have had an incident here. Marty Uren, slow. Parsons and his teammate going to go 3 wide.
Meanwhile, Savoie is all over and back at Moses right now.
Marty jams it in there. Got the pass made. Houston had to check up. And it's allowed Kevin Miller past. Much like last week, a very, very tight, close battle here to start this race. Very clean as well.
Yeah, I would definitely say you got a race between downforce and no down or less downforce between Savoie and Moses.
Incredible battle here further back. Wow, I didn't even know there were 3 cars there. We got Cuppet, Houston, and Kevin Miller. Houston had to check up again here and nearly gave up that spot to Cuppet.
Oh!
Chuck Carter with a bit of a moment there, tried to go underneath Jonathan Cuppet. Ooh, we got a big incident here. David Poole. Oh my goodness. Several cars involved. One car.
Upside down.
Miller is upside down. Wow. I have not seen that before. Unbelievable turn of events here. David Poole lost the rear of the car, and just several cars involved in that fracas. Wow.
That's really opened it up for Chris Moses and Kevin Savoie.
Ooh, Taylor taking it way wide. Continues to fall. Pick up this battle for the lead here. Kevin Savoie gonna have a run. Savoie is gonna get it done. He's gonna move into the lead now. So Savoie back out front here as these two exchange positions yet again. Moses is going to hang on to the rear, try to hang on to the rear of Savoie. Nunez up to third, followed by Parsons, Taylor, and Marty Uren. These two, Marty, going to have a look on the inside of Taylor heading into the heel. Marty gets the pass made, so Taylor drops down to 6th.
Yeah, I would have to imagine that 15 kilograms is gonna hurt him a little bit here. I don't know, maybe he had a little contact or something because he's been dropping. Nunez has been able to hold steady. Didn't see what happened to Poole exactly, but Poole was running 3rd at the time when he lost the back end or something happened. Maybe contact with somebody else.
Kurt Chandler. So things, let's see if things have settled down here a little bit. Kurt Chandler has moved up to 7th, followed by Greg Myers, John Watkins, his teammate Chuck Carter, John Houston back in 11th, Calderon and Greatrix. Good start by both those guys running nose to tail. Teammate Skidmark Racing, Greatrix throwing it into turn 1. But tell you, oh, teammates having contact. Oh, no team orders there. Wow.
I'm glad I'm not their team manager. I'd fire both of them.
Yeah. All right, let's see. As Savoie continues to lead this race, it's like Cuppets, Rally, Miller, and Lithgow. Looks like those guys are out. Last lap of the race thus far, it is Kevin Savoie with a 42.5. So 0.5 quicker than Moses' best up to this point. This is, failed to mention, this is 28 laps here around the Glen, so I expect guys to pit around the halfway point, around lap 14, but wasn't the case last week for this guy, Ronnie Nunez, who really stretched out his stop, his first stint last week at Interlagos, and it really helped him out. After Matt Taylor was leading last week, Nunez stayed out on some free track, threw down some really quick times, and came out ahead of Taylor after everything was said and done, ultimately won him the race.
Yeah, you know, now that we've got a few laps in the books here, just wonder if everyone's going to start settling down and getting their heads down, start running some good laps.
Chuck Carter under some pressure here from John Houston. Houston with a run on Carter. This is the battle for 10th.
Chuck needs to be tucked in behind John there unless he's trying to let him get away a little bit.
Houston quickly pulling away from Chuck Carter. David Poole, after that big incident, he is back in 12th. Calderon still leading his teammate Greatrix Brian Story back in 15th, and Cuppet, I believe Cuppet's out, so that's your running order up to this point.
Moses, I think, just ran his fastest lap of the race, or close to it.
Houston now falling back under pressure here from Chuck, so Chuck got everything sorted. I've lost a bit more time there from Houston. I gotta wonder if Chuck might have been involved in that incident there. We saw several cars involved in that big pileup. It's the first time we've seen really something like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if a couple guys are still out there with some damage. Carter will be one of them that I'm thinking. Taylor, his lap times haven't come down yet, and actually, I think Chandler might be gaining on Taylor, actually.
Houston on a tear right now, putting all kinds of pressure on John Watkins. Man on a mission, looking to pick up the spots he lost. You're right, Taylor now under pressure from Chandler. That gap's now only 4 seconds between those two.
Houston. That was an basically textbook pass right there. John Houston had a run. John Watkins recognized it, backed out of it, gave him room. Now they can continue to fight. Looks like John Houston's going to pull out.
Yeah, pretty heads-up move there from Watkins. Saw it coming and didn't push the issue. So some of these guys who did take damage there in that incident probably will come in as early as they possibly can to get that repaired and then fill it up and go the rest of the way. Keep an eye on the pits. Already working lap 9 at this event. That gap between Moses and Savoie is now 2 seconds for Savoie. Really going to work here tonight. Looking to prove us all wrong here in the broadcast booth. And it's good to see him having a good run here. I know we give him a lot of grief, but it's good that he can show us he still got it. So Cuppet's still out on track, a lap down. Sorry, Roman. So Cuppet's still out there. He's a lap down here, but still pushing. Go ahead. Sorry, Roman.
I was going to say, you know, Savoie, that's the thing. Right now, everything's going his way. At this point, he might be the guy to beat. But, you know, Moses is really good with his pit stops, so we still got to wait and see what happens there. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have a battle for third here, and probably another lap or so between Nunez and Parsons.
Yeah, you got to wonder, Ronnie carrying that 30 kilograms of ballast, what that's doing to him at this point. It's definitely going to slow him down the straights here, and you can see, yep, that gap is starting to shrink there between Nunez and Parsons. David Poole has made the pass on Chuck Carter, so Poole has worked his way back up to 11th.
Yeah, Poole's car didn't. I mean, he was obviously started that big buster, and his car didn't seem to be as damaged. I mean, he's definitely moving back through the field. You know, obviously, there probably is some damage, but he seems to be able to deal with it pretty good right now. And Parsons is really gaining on Nunez now.
Not that gap now between Moses and Savoie, now 3 seconds. So Savoie putting the hammer down here. His best lap now 42.2, so he's improved on his best time. Moses also has improved. Those are the only two guys in the 42s at this point. Back on board with Parsons.
Keeps on whittling away at it.
Just comparing the straight line speed, pretty even for those two guys down the straight.
Yeah, it seems like Aaron's just chipping away ever so much in most of the corners.
Wow, this race is quickly flying by here, nearly the halfway point, approaching working lap 11 here. Some of these guys you may see come in. Ooh, we got a yellow flag up ahead. Ooh, might have been Savoie, might have tapped the wall. I don't see that gap shrinking, so I think Savoie might be all right. Let's not forget about Marty Uren here. Marty quietly running in 5th and not far off that battle between Nunez and Aaron Parsons. So Marty having a great run here tonight.
Yeah, like, you know, when we get the pit stops here, we really see how it all shakes out. You know, I don't know what they'll do. Is Parsons in the pits?
Nope, Parsons still out. Might be
David Poole just pulled in.
yeah, so I expected Poole to come in, be the first to come in. So he's probably going to get that damage repaired. Going to be a pretty long stop, but he'll be good to go the rest of the way. Ooh, big moment there for Ronnie. It's a big twitch at the rear of his car, and that's allowed Parsons to close the gap. Uncharacteristic mistake there for Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm sure that weight's probably affecting the rear of the tires on that car.
Parsons looks like he's gets it done. Yeah, so Parsons now up to 3rd. That's the thing here. Most of the guys are so consistent, one little mistake, and that's what happens. Wow, Savoie is really flying now. That gap is now 4 seconds up over Chris Moses.
Yeah, I keep on checking every now and then. Savoie seems to be running in the 42s. Chris keeps on hitting 42 to 43. So Savoie's got it dialed in right now.
Kurt Chandler having a tremendous run here tonight, hanging onto the back of Matt Taylor. That gap is now just 2 seconds between these two guys.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with Matt. I don't know if, like I said, if he had some damage. I just saw him again go completely wide through turn 1 there. So the car is definitely not handling right. He should probably get it in serviced if it's got some damage.
So quickly nearing the halfway point of this race. Let's see what these guys elect to do here. These guys decide to stay out. Haven't seen Savoie in this position this late in the race, and it's going to be interesting to see how he manages his pit stop.
Oh, I think Moses. Is that Moses?
Yeah, Moses is in. So Moses pitting early here. Quick stop. He's away. Looks like he's going to come out right behind Marty Uren.
Well, there you go. Now we'll see what Savoie does.
Yeah, that may be a signal for Savoie to come into the pits now that he saw Moses is in.
Hard to say. I mean, Savoie, his last lap was a 42-1. Let's see what he... I don't think he'll be pitting anytime soon. I don't know. We'll see.
Parsons, after getting around Ronnie Nunez, has not been able to quite shake him. Ronnie hanging in there. Savoie's going to stay out. So if you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of North American Grand Prix Monday Night Formula Masters Series, live from Watkins, Glen. Working lap 15 of a scheduled 28 laps here tonight. It's Chris Moses now quickly closing the gap to Marty Uren. And this may not work out well for Chris.
Yeah, this could hurt or help. It's, you know, we'll see what happens down the straightaway here. Yeah, you know, Chris's tires are just probably getting up to temp now.
Incredible battle here between Nunez and Parsons. These two going at it. Meanwhile, Marty hanging on to that fight. Chris Moses, who's already pitted, came out behind Marty. But Marty could be in this lap. We'll have to wait and see. It's Kevin Savoie, presently our leader in this race. See what he decides to do. He's coming into the pits. So, critical moment in this race. Savoie is in. And he is away. He's going to come out ahead of Moses. Come out behind Nunez. Parsons in the pits. Oh yeah, well ahead of Moses. What a stop from Kevin. Incredible stop. You gotta wonder if he even took tires.
Yeah, both Moses and Savoie both had really fast stops. But you know, we were just saying how Uren was probably going to hold up Chris. Well, now you have Nunez possibly holding up Savoie a little bit.
Yeah, we saw this last week from Nunez. He hung out there late, so looks like he might be employing the same strategy for this race here tonight. Calderon looks like he's out of the race. So 15 guys in the points presently. Talked about it earlier, kind of a light turnout here tonight. A lot of guys, for some reason, weren't able to make tonight's race, including our championship leader.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking.
So Nunez dives into the pits. Taylor, doesn't look like Taylor has pitted yet as Parsons came out from his stop behind Matt. See if Nunez comes out ahead of Aaron Parsons. Look like Parsons now making his way onto the front straight. Nunez away. Ooh, this is going to be close. Really close, and Parsons going to take it. Wow. Unbelievable. Unreal.
That was close.
Yeah, it's going to be advantage Parsons as he's on fresher tires here. Well, tires that are up to temp, and he's just made his way past Taylor. Rockets past Taylor, so Taylor now still needing to come in, I believe.
Yeah, if Taylor hasn't pitted, he needs to get in now, because I think his tires are probably starting to wear pretty good.
So the gap between Moses and Savoie was 4 seconds prior to the stop. The gap is now 6 seconds, so Moses losing out 2 seconds to Kevin Savoie during that pit cycle. And the gap between those two and Parsons and Nunez is 24 seconds. So Moses and Savoie really in a class of their own here tonight. Savoie continuing to improve his time.
Big thing Savoie is going to have to contend with coming shortly will be the lap traffic.
So it's a situation now where the decision to pit earlier for Parsons really was the right call. Allowed him to get those tires up to temp. Ronnie coming out pitting a couple laps later than Parsons, really on the back foot. Coming out on cold tires.
Yeah, I can see how Nunez wants to try to have the tire advantage, but I think the weight that he's carrying, I don't know if he'll be able to fight back, but yeah, you never know.
So the back here. Picking up now, Mike Gratrick's running in 9th, followed by John Houston. Close battle here. This is for the 9th position. Houston going to have a look on the inside. These two have had a checkered past. But it looks like Houston's going to get past without incident. Oh, spoke too soon.
I would not want to be doing this.
These two side
Those
by
guys
side.
are just slowing each other up. Oh, that's painful.
The advantage Houston down the straight. So took a while, but got the pass made finally.
Well, Parsons' last lap was a 44 flat. Nunez was a 43.7. So this battle might go all the way to the end.
Yeah, Parsons. That gap starting to shrink a little bit between Parsons and Nunez. Nunez had a really good start to his to that first stint of his. That kind of faded there. But we'll see how things play out. Ooh, another moment for Ronnie, so that's not going to help his effort there. They're going to lose a little bit more time as Parsons now coming up on some lap traffic. That is Jonathan Cuppet. So Savoie's lead now 7.5 seconds over Chris Moses, working lap 20 of 28 laps here tonight. This race is flying by. 150-kilometer event. Depending on the circuit, something like this where it's a really fast circuit, these races go by quickly. Ooh, Ronnie taking it wide. But both those guys get past
Taylor
without issue.
Taylor's in the pits. Taylor's in the pits.
Oh, so Taylor pitting late. Just picked him up, coming out. Ooh, now this is going to be interesting to see if he comes out how far ahead of Kurt Chandler. Oh, he beats Chandler out by quite a ways. So good stop there for Chandler. Not sure what happened to Chandler. They were within 2 seconds of each other. And now that gap is 14. So Chandler he's got some work cut out for him if he wants to catch up to Matt Taylor. Meanwhile, this battle here between Houston and Greatrix. That gap is a couple seconds between those two. John Watton not far off. Watton currently in 11th. Trying to reel in Greatrix. This field pretty spread out. Big incident early in this race, lap 4 of 5. Involving David Poole and several drivers. Kevin Miller was on his lid. It was ugly, so we had several retirements here tonight. David Poole, we talked about him. He was involved in that wreck back in 12th, pitted early. He hasn't really been able to make up much time. He's about 3 seconds off of John Watton. Kevin Savoie, our leader.
Savoie's been catching catching David Poole and John Wathen just a number of laps here before he makes the pass.
Now Savoie is really cruising right now. 9 seconds now up on Moses, about to put David Poole a lap down. So Carlos chimed in, new racer. Now Kevin Savoie, he's been on and off with us for many years. He's raced in GTR2 with us, GT1. Has a bunch of pole positions, a few wins, and has already had a couple poles this season, including tonight, and is on his way to his first win here in Assetto Corsa at NAGP. So still 6 laps to go, but it's looking very good for him at this point. So that gap between Nunez and Parsons now starting to shrink ever so slightly. Down to a second.
Yeah, they keep on trading fast laps with each other. I just looked, Parsons just ran a 43.2 and Nunez ran a 43.8. Basically, they were running about 2/10 within each other, so that's the first one where Parsons actually got a good chunk away from Nunez. So not sure if he's going to be able to keep it up. I mean, this is probably the biggest gap he's had since the pit stop.
So Evernos checking in, saying hello. How's it going? Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. If you're just tuning in, this is round 6 of the Monday Night Formula Masters League, and anybody new out there is interested in racing with us, check out NorthAmericanGP.com. We run obviously open wheel on Monday nights here, and on Thursday we have a GT League as well, and a lot of fun.
And here we go.
Yeah, so that gap pretty static at this point between Parsons and Nunez, right around 2 seconds, similar to what it was prior to stops. Uh-oh.
Savoie's a little impatient getting around lap traffic here. It looks like it could cost him.
All right, let's hope David Poole gets out of his way. Yeah, I mean, with well, it looks like we have an off somewhere. Oh yeah, John Houston has thrown it off. Either that or he's had an incident with somebody, but oh, Wathen allowing Savoie to get past, so that's going to tighten up the battle between David Poole. Poole looking to take advantage of that. On board with Poole. This is on board with Poole. Excuse me. This is a fight for position here between Wathen and David. This is for 10th.
Definitely had running faster laps. Of course, that spin he had, threw him back. So now he's just trying to catch back up here. But doesn't look like Wathen's gonna give it to him. So this should be a good fight.
Enter turn 1. Oh, nice exit from Wathen through there. Gap between Parsons and Nunez now up to 3 seconds, so got our eye on that. Poole may have a run here on Wathen. Looks like he's going to get it done. So Poole moves up. Oh, Wathen looking to answer around the long way. Through the chute. Nope.
Oh, it's not over yet.
You know, Walton wanted to hang on to that 10th. But I think Poole just might have a little too much pace for John at this point.
Yeah, it'll take a mistake for John, I think, to get back in there.
So our leader, Kevin Savoie, about to start lap 25.
Yeah, Moses must have had a moment out there. His last lap was only 47.2. Parson and Nunez. Parson's been steadily increasing that gap. Looks like I think he's got over on Nunez now.
Yeah, so our front runner, Savoie, Chris Moses, running in second. Aaron Parsons in third. Quick rundown here. Nunez running fourth. Marty Urim, we haven't talked about him much tonight, but he has been quietly running here in fifth. Great run for him tonight. Matt Taylor running in sixth. Allow him to drop some weight. Nunez finishing in that fourth. He's going to hang on to that. If he finishes in fourth, he's going to hang on to that 30 kilograms for next week. Chuck Carter back in 13th. Kurt Chandler, another guy having a great run in seventh. And Greg Myers, and again, I haven't talked about Greg really much at all. But Greg with an outstanding race here tonight, running in eighth. Not far off of Curtis, only 3 seconds back. Brian Story's running in 14th. John Houston up to 9th. We're going to try to stay on the lead lap here as Kevin Savoie is coming up on him. And we saw that pass David Poole made on Watton. He is now in 10th. Watton 11th. Greatrix running in 12th. And Chuck Carter with a big moment. We're just going to catch up with Chuck, but he is back at 13th. So, yeah, that's entering the chute. Chuck taking it off. Looks like he suffered from a bit of oversteer there, entering the chute. And Brian Story in 14th. Cuppet running in 15th. So, that is your running order tonight. Several retirements here after an early incident which we caught on the broadcast. But the big story has been Kevin Savoie. Whoa, he nearly turns it around, but yeah, big story tonight. Kevin, as Brian Story takes it off. Snap and pull. And leading this race, most of this race, had pretty good tussle back and forth with Moses early in this race, but final pass he made on Moses, he checked out after that. His best lap of the night, 42.1. 6/10 quicker than Moses. And only two guys to hit the 42 mark.
Yeah, Kevin's been pretty much on cruise control. This is typically how most of Kevin's races go. He'll get the pole and he'll just check on out. And that's almost what he did here. He had a little bit of a fight with Chris there, and then that was it. He's just been rock solid the rest of the race.
Yeah, it's good to see. I know we, like I said, we give him a hard time every now and then, but it's good to see him put one together here. Spice things up a little bit.
Yep. Throw that little wrench into the works there for everybody else.
I'll tell you what, though, it really throws a wrench into Moses, because he Moses obviously has great pace here tonight, but It's not enough, and those points, those championship points, critical. And those are four extra points you get for winning a race over second place. But looks like Savoie is going to pull off the trifecta here tonight with the pole, the win here, and then leading the most laps. So going to come out of here with max points.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's what Savoie is famous for.
Now let's catch up with Chandler and Greg Myers. Those two now really close, as Greg really putting the pressure on here late in this event. Gap just about a second and change over Chandler over Greg.
You know, and this is another typical run for Greg Myers, actually. You know, maybe not lately, but Greg was always the kind of guy, if you saw him gaining on you towards the end of the race, you knew you were kind of in trouble. He was probably going to have better tires than you, just because Greg's a pretty smooth driver. He doesn't abuse his stuff, and it's hard to keep him behind you once he catches you up. And there you go.
Oh, Curtis with a slide. We missed it. But Curtis, just like that, that's going to move on the last lap. It's going to move Greg up to 7th.
Couldn't take the pressure.
Oh, but not to take any, that little mistake, not to take anything away from Curtis. A really outstanding job for him.
Yeah, no, that, like I said, Greg, that's old-fashioned, typical Greg Myers. Just, you know, you see him gaining on you on the last lap, and you know you're pretty much dead beat.
So just a couple corners to go here for Kevin Houston, who is, I believe he's in line for the competition index here. He's got every lap completed so far this race. Does not want to go a lap down, and he won't. He's going to do everything he can to stay out ahead of Kevin. But it's going to be Kevin Savoie taking the win here tonight at Watkins Glen with an outstanding drive. Chris Mose is going to take 2nd. Oops. Parsons going to finish 3rd. Nunez 4th. Out of Uran going to come across here in 5th. Let's see, Matt Taylor, ooh, bit of a moment there, but Taylor's going to come home here in 6th.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's happy or disappointed, but I think he's probably pretty lucky that he ended up at 6th. Could have been a lot worse.
Greg Myers with a great performance here tonight, going to take 7th. Chandler going to come home in 8th. And not sure why these guys are still going here, but this race is over. All right, I'm going to... Oh, I take that back. Was the race over or not? Looks like we had a little bit of a timing glitch, but the race is definitely ended. I'm going to back out of this one and bring in our winner here tonight, and so I can save the replay. Bring in the winner, have a talk with him.
qual.
Kevin Savoie, do you copy?
Awesome. Yeah, I copy.
Hey, Kevin, Alan, Rich, I almost said Brad. Alan, Rich Roman here in the broadcast booth. Big win here tonight for you. Great to see you put a complete race weekend together for yourself. And really great to see that qualifying session. You snuck it out there. You snatched that pole away from Moses on that last lap there at the checkers. And had a pretty good fight with Chris at the start of the race. And then after you made that final pass on him, you pretty much checked out.
Yeah, man, what a great night. I got to really thank Kevin Miller. He brought the setup, and wow, it was hooked up. Yeah, on qual, I was able to get Chris right at the last second. I didn't think I had it, but that final lap I did just felt great, and I was happy to sneak it out there. For the race, man, I'm having a lot of issues with the starts, but I was happy that just Chris got by. I tried to fight him off for like at the outer loop, but I did a bit of an error and he got by. And I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that, because I felt like in practice and qual that the draft just didn't work very well. But I noticed once when he had issues coming out of turn one, and I got a run on him, and if you get close enough, the draft works, but you have to be really right up on that rear wing, and was able to make a pass, and man, it was it might have looked easy, but wow, was it ever tough. The curbs are all around the track were really treacherous, but I just ran my race, and like I said, Kevin gave me a setup that just felt so easy to drive, and I was able to keep it on the track for the whole race this time. Finally got a full race in, and finally got a win in at Cerro Corsa.
Nice job, Kevin. Yeah, you did make it look easy. It looked like you were hooked up really well. In the beginning of the race there, I was kind of trying to figure out if you were maybe running lower downforce than Chris. Obviously, you're probably not sure, but like you said, you got that draft off of him. Great job. Way to go.
Thanks.
I got to ask you real quick about your pit. You really nailed your pit stop. Came out. You guys were about 4 seconds apart going in, and then you beat Chris pitted, I think, a lap earlier than you did, and you beat him out by about 2 seconds. So you gonna divulge your little secret there, or just chalk it up to a good stop?
I think what really helped though is my in lap compared to his out lap. With me being on an empty tank, I really hit a great lap. I think with the heavier tank, it's at least maybe almost over a second slower. So I think I gained 1 second there, but I just made sure to hit my mark, because I know how the pit app can be a bit finicky. So I just made sure I got really straight into the box and not go too deep, and man, it just worked out.
Well, congratulations, Kevin. I know we like to give you a hard time sometimes.
Yeah, you really did.
Go ahead,
have some fast laps.
What's that, Brad?
Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying. Basically, you ran 2 laps, 42.1s back to back. And you were flying at that point, so nice job, and take it from there.
Yeah, thanks. Man, on the empty tank, it was just really on rails. It's incredible. Man, can't thank Kevin Miller enough. He brought one hell of a setup.
Well, congratulations again, Kevin. And like I said, I know we like to give you a hard time sometimes. We know your prowess when it comes to qualifying, but it's really great to see you put it all together here tonight. And good luck next week at Brands Hatch, and let's see if you can bring it then. With kind of a similar track, really high speed, and it's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, can't wait. Brands Hatch isn't really one of my favorite tracks. I'm that first turn is one that bites me a lot. So hopefully I can bring the momentum though and get a good finish.
All right. Well, good luck next week, and congratulations again.
Yep,
Thanks,
congrats,
guys.
Kev.
Have a good night.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Roman, Kevin Savoie really putting it together here tonight and putting on a really a great show, class above everybody else here tonight.
Yeah, like I said earlier, though, that's kind of Kevin's MO. When he does get it together, he puts it together, and usually he just checks on out, and that's exactly what he did tonight. Didn't know if he had it in him, but he showed us he did. So congrats again to Kevin. Good job. And off to Brands Hatch for those guys.
All right, so we'll be back this Thursday night for round 5, the feature race at Spa in the GT Series, 400-kilometer race. It's going to be a good one. Until then, we'll be back here on next Monday, from Brands Hatch for round 7. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. And until then, thanks, Rich, for helping out. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.